This bill is like Huda on Love Island, right? Nobody wants to vote this thing out, but nobody want to couple up with it either. I think this is the first time in American history MAGA Republicans and moderate Republicans are deeply divided on something. They hate this bill, but for very separate reasons. Let me explain. Big Beautiful Bill is Trump's entire agenda packed into one law. It passed the House, now it's passed the Senate with some additions, so it's got to go back to the House to get approved once again. Now, some of those changes includes a rural hospital fund. One of the biggest issues in the original bill was that it cut Medicaid and Medicare from rural hospitals that desperately needed this funding. They were able to bring it up to $25 billion until Senator Susan Collins said, I'm not voting yes on this thing until you make it $50 billion. So they did. And she still voted no. Shout out Susan Collins. Lisa Murkowski was able to get concessions for her home state that involved energy, tax exemptions, and stuff like that. She said it was hard to, but she still voted yes. So meanwhile, the biggest obstacle from the House Republicans passing this vote is from the Freedom Caucus. So the Senate issue was there weren't enough targeted protections for their state, for the most vulnerable people, rural hospitals, Alaska, so on and so forth. Now, the biggest obstacle from the House Republicans comes from the Freedom Caucus. Now, their main issue is that this doesn't cut enough of the budget. This is made up of representatives like Chip Roy, Massey, Burlington, Ogles, and Ralph Norman. These people, the Freedom Caucus, have made a brand out of being fiscally responsible and wanting to lower the deficit. To them, this is what their voters voted for them for. Now, they handed off a bill that only added $72 billion to the deficit. What came back to them was an additional $650 billion to the deficit. And the Freedom Caucus thinks that this actually will end up being $1.3 trillion. So what you have here is a group of people who are like, do I vote yes for this thing and tarnish my brand and I look like a liar? Or do I vote no for this thing and have every Republican and Trump hate me and primary me out? It's like being stuck between a rock and a hard place and there's no great thing to do. But I think we all know what the right answer is, right? Despite these holdouts from the House Republicans, I do expect this to pass because party loyalty, right? And they only need about 2 or 3 votes to get this done. The question is now, does it happen before or after July 4th? And honestly, we'll take whatever wins we can get, right?